Hey, welcome to Legals and Biz with Riz, the podcast offering you business and legal tips without the boring legalese. I'm your host, Riz McDonald, and I'm here to answer your questions and offer general advice in the clearest way possible. So grab your beverage of choice, sit back, and get ready to build your empire with Find Legal. Welcome to episode 2 of Legals and Biz with Riz, how to pivot your business and move online during COVID-19 and beyond. And I know you're probably sick of that word. I feel like I've heard it nonstop. It seems to be like the word of the week, month, year. I feel like, that Friends scene. I don't know about you guys, but I loved Friends and that scene of Ross moving the couch. And the word pivot keeps popping into my head and I can't get rid of it. I've thought of other words to use in its place, but I have to say this word kind of explains it really well. Firstly, I just want to say to everyone, if you have a small business, if you have any kind of business, then well done you. Because this is such a basically shitty situation. And everyone, based on my experiences of talking with people, are doing their bloody hardest to make lemonade out of lemons. And I'm so proud to be a part of that community. And I wanted to do something that would benefit that community. So yes, it's a strange time. Yes, it's a difficult time. But we are all doing our best to learn how to cope and change our mindset, to do our best to accept this as the new normal. And look, when it comes to business, it's obviously pretty hard anyway. And in fact, unless you're an essential business, it's impossible to run a business face to face at this time. So to stay relevant and try and keep some semblance of income coming in, we've all had to think of ways to move our businesses online. Fortunately, there are ways to do that. And I'm going to do my bloody hardest to walk you through some ways in which you can pivot your business and move online both now and beyond. So grab your beverage of choice and let's get some business brainstorming done and let's get pivoting. Start with workshops and courses. Look, there's lots of workshops and courses that lend themselves super well to basically the online space. And there are a lot of businesses that have moved into that space. I can think of many and quite a few of my clients as well. And I'll talk to that as well. You can teach art classes online. My sister-in-law, Lisa McDonald, she's based in Scotland. And she's had to move her in-person painting course to online to great success, may I add, and I believe she's going to continue doing that as well. There's other businesses like social media workshops, yoga, dance, Pilates, you name it, you could potentially move that online. Look, I appreciate there might be some topics that are just quite tricky to move online, but it's not impossible. You just need to think outside the box. Otherwise, there may be other ways to pivot, or it's just not possible. Look, I get that. A couple of other businesses I can give you examples of. La Zucca Pizzeria in Bald Hills. They used to be and will continue to be a restaurant. But what they've done is they've moved to a takeaway online business. And not only that, but they're also combining it with amazing wine offerings. And they're also doing cooking nights as well. So people can learn how to cook the meals that they provide. So such an amazing way to pivot. Another business, Storia on Queen, have a similar. They're providing pastas and pizzas for pickup and delivery, whereas before they used to be predominantly just a restaurant. So there's lots of different ways in which the food industry is moving as well. I've got a few beauty businesses that also have pivoted online, and because of the success of that pivoting, they now have a second income stream, which they plan to continue long after we deal with COVID-19. The next question is, well, how are these things achieved? So with the online courses and workshops, for example, you can use technology like Zoom, Google Hangouts, Skype. You can Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, Crowdcaster. There's lots of different ways. in which you can use technology. And you can also, the other great thing is you can record those sessions. You can have them available for future downloads. You can have them read that content repurposed for your blog articles, for a podcast, for so many different things. There are so many different things you can do with that content once you have it. So the use of technology, and then, thinking about how to repurpose it is a great way to utilize both the tech and the content produced from that tech. The other upside of all of this is that you become super connected, and it also becomes really motivating as well. So just remember, one of the important things, whether you stream or connect, make sure you record those sessions as well. Another way to both be motivated to shift your business online is to create a master group or become part of a master group to bring like-minded businesses and entrepreneurs together. Look, this could be an amazing opportunity to brainstorm and come up with mutually beneficial ideas that can support each other's businesses. You can even potentially collaborate, trade content, and maybe even teach each other something new that will bolster each other's businesses. Or maybe you can offer something to the public together and split any earnings. Maybe you're a team of artists that together can create an online course in drama, dance, and singing. Or you can offer marketing and PR as a duo to other small businesses. So teaming up as well can have massive benefits. Having access to online masterminds and groups is not only a great business opportunity, but a great learning opportunity, and also an opportunity to, get connected and stay connected. So being in isolation doesn't mean being alone. So there's so many different ways in which you can pivot, you can get online, and you can stay connected. Look, in terms of income or client growth, you could charge a small fee that's less than what you would typically charge for a face-to-face, or you could create a subscription-based course, opportunity for your content to be purchased, having users sign up. There's other ways in which you can do that. You can maybe even offer the first lot for free and simply get email addresses. That way you're growing your mailing list of future clients. Just make sure you have your clients' consent to email them about your offer so you don't run into any legal hiccups. Then you can start targeting your mailing list and work to grow it. From there, if it's a success, you can begin charging low rates. Market your offer on socials, have a link to your privacy policy to help you stay legally legit while you pivot. Speaking of legally legit, there are a few things you should think about from a legal perspective as you make these important business changes. For example, your intellectual property. If you're in a situation where you're going to be providing things online that you didn't previously, then you really need to think about protecting your content and how it's going to be used. Be very clear about what you own and what your clients can and cannot do with that content from a copyright perspective. The other thing to be clear about is cancellations and refunds. Well, you should be clear about those things anyway, depending on the product and service that you offer. But especially when you're providing things online as well, make sure you have updated your terms and conditions around cancellations and refund policies, and what kind of policies you might have in regards to digital downloads. Make sure that the language you use is clear and the terms cover all the bases for the circumstances that might be out of your control, so you don't get caught up being held liable. And the other thing to think about is also having a really good solid privacy policy. This way both you and your clients will feel safe and connected online. And also, like I said earlier, when you're collecting emails, make sure you have a clear opt-in and it's clear to the customer or the client when they sign up that they're signing up to receive marketing emails, so they've given you clear informed consent. So, are you excited yet? I think you should be. There's so much potential for you, and I really think that if you think outside the box, if you look at what there is out there, then you can achieve something with what you have, and it can potentially become a second income stream. I just want to use a couple of more examples of that. There's a few amazing businesses out there that operate in the online space already, like Ola Digital, White Deer. I'm trying to think now, Digital Bloom, to name a few, providing online courses. And there's many, many more that I'm struggling to think of off the top of my head right now, that are all providing online courses. And there's something to be learned from that as to how they deliver them and what they're achieving as well. So I think, you can become part of these communities and create something beautiful for yourselves. And just remember that you're not alone, that there is opportunity there. You just need to get together with like-minded individuals and share your knowledges and experience and see what comes of that. But before you start bringing any of your brilliant ideas to life, be sure you can answer your why. Your why is super, super important. It will help give you a clearer vision to create something, and in turn that will be clearer to potential clients and followers. My why, as simple as it sounds, is to help you guys pivot, and if I'm being completely honest, to also help you see that lawyers can be helpful too, with zero expectations. So once you know your why, get to work. Look, I get that sometimes it's not as easy as you think to start something out like this. It's not easy to wrap your head around something new when you're used to working a certain way for a long period of time. So start off simply by fleshing the idea out. What is your topic? What is your offer? What is your challenge? What are the daily tasks you're trying to invite your clients to do? And how will you market this task, course, challenge? And have a think about that. Just flesh it out and see where that takes you. I personally find note-taking super, super helpful. Also, I have a Pinterest board. I never know if I pronounce that correctly, by the way. Pinterest or Pinterest? Somebody tell me. Anyway, I sometimes like to create wee mood boards to give me an idea and map things out. I find that super useful. You might have a different way. Some people like post-it notes. Some people like whiteboards. It's all good. Whatever floats your boat and whatever's going to work for you is what's important. Before I go, I just wanted to give a big shout out to some amazing women who have been a wonderful, wonderful support to me on my business journey. And they are Danielle at Norfolk Design, Sarah at Digital Bloom, Yota at Ola Digital, Leanne at Founders Team, Danielle at Reed City, Anita at Word Fetty, and many more. I think I'm going to forget. I hope I haven't. Amy at Business Lane, just to name a few. So it's wonderful, wonderful to me to be part of such an amazing community, and I hope that you guys have the opportunity to be part of one. And if you're not yet, you will be. Go find them. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. There's so many amazing groups and communities out there that you can join to help support you. Thank you for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. If you like what you hear, please do provide feedback. And also, if you could let me know if you have got any particular topics that you want to be discussed, then let me know and I will put them on the list. Thank you so much. Well, that's it for this episode of Legals and Biz with Riz. As always, thanks for listening. If you like this episode, raise a glass and show us some love by subscribing. And if you're feeling extra jazzed, we'd love a little review. If there are any topics you'd like to hear about, shoot us a message and we'll get on it. Till next time, this is Riz of Found Legal signing off.